ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm basically going to show you how to get to level 30 in less than 30 minutes or about 30 minutes. It depends on how fast you move around and how often you die, but if you follow this video you'll pretty much reach level 30 in this game within 30 minutes and makes the first boss or PvP pretty much immediately available to you. PvP tends to happen a lot faster around levels 40 to 70 as of the making of this video. That may change later, so take that with a grain of salt. But to start this off, we're going to start with just a regular Wretch character, level 1, 10 stats and everything. Feel free to choose whatever class you want. Some classes like the Samurai may speed this process up, but we're going to go ahead and start with just the absolute basic class just for simplicity's sake. So to start this off, we're pretty much going to run straight through the whole tutorial area. I'm going to leave the whole footage in the background of this. I'm going to speed some parts up of it so that way, you know, for the sake of the video, it's not super long. But just to show you guys the full footage of everything I did, uncut, that way you guys are not questioning whether or not I did anything out of the ordinary or if there's something you're missing. So starting straight from the spawn area, you're pretty much just going to try to run through the tutorial as fast as possible. You're going to run, grab the finger. You're required to have the finger to open this door. So you'll leave the Chapel of Anticipation. You'll head on down the stairs. We're going to make our way straight to the first boss fight. The first boss fight, for anybody that is wondering, you can beat it. I'm sure somebody has done it already and posted a video or is attempting to. If not, I haven't exactly looked it up, but it is a Souls-like game, which means that every boss is beatable in some way. But for our purposes, we're pretty much just trying to die to get to the starting area as fast as possible. For us average Dark Souls players, we will be dying no matter what, so may as well speed the process up. And with that, we are at our starting area. Let's skip past the cutscenes here. Grab our flasks. We're gonna go ahead and make our way down into this pit real quick. The only reason why we're going to do that is to get through all of the tutorial stuff, but technically if you really wanted to, you could skip this, which would also speed up the process. I think you only leave this area with like 600 souls anyway, which in all honesty isn't a huge deal, but it will give you your first 1 to 3 levels, which are kind of important. If you're starting with the Wretch class, that's important. If you're starting with the Samurai class, you could probably skip this, but again, for the purposes of this video, we're going to the starting area, pretending that you're a new player and you've never played this game before, or you're just trying to speed level. The extra 600 souls or so that you're going to leave here with do come in handy for getting those early levels out of the way. So we're pretty much just going to run through this. I'm probably going to shut up for this and kind of speed this part up. Alright, now that you've completed the tutorial kind of little area that teaches you all the controls, you're going to make your way through these doors, past that golden tree. Those golden trees are important. If you haven't played any of the Dark Souls games, or Elden Ring in particular, I guess, those golden trees are going to be where you find golden seeds, which is what I recommend anybody starting the game take, as well as the early game requires 1 golden seed for 1 extra flask. So hopefully by the end of this video, inadvertently you'll have, I believe, an extra 1 or 2 flasks. So after this level 30, you'll be at about 5 crimson flasks and 1 cerulean, if that's how you want to play, which you can allocate back and forth, and a sacred tier as well. You're gonna make your way out of this, out of the grave site that we were in, and make our way to this first bonfire. I'm doing all the stuff that a normal player at the start of the game should and probably would do. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to all the NPCs. I'm just going to run through it with the dialogue since I have done it before, but take your time reading this. He tells you a lot of stuff and kind of where you need to go. We're gonna make our way off the side here and pick up our stake as well for summoning and co-op, so that way if you want to play with your friends you absolutely can, not passing up any of the basic normal stuff. So our goal here now is to get Torrent, which is your horse. As we do not have him yet, we need to get to a few grace sites first. So only reason I'm killing these is to grab the extra couple of souls that they drop. They're on the way anyway, plus the thin beast bones, if you do manage to get those, come and turn into what you call them, bone daggers, which is always nice to have for drawing aggro from mobs. So reach our second bonfire here. Normally this is where the game's going to teach you how to craft and, you know, strengthen up your weapons and stuff like that, but again, for the purpose of this video, we're trying to get level 30, so we're going to skip past all of that. No horse means we got to run to the next couple of bonfires, but you're going to follow the road that took you to the church and just run on past. Try not to aggro the tree sentinel behind us. He is definitely far beyond our level currently, but definitely very manageable by the end of this video, so you're welcome to try to kill him afterwards. I found that on horseback it's relatively easy. It's probably about a 2-3 minute fight if you just keep passing by him and swiping once or twice while he's on the horse. Gonna kill these guys, and the only reason why we're killing these guys as we're passing by is, like I said earlier, we're here to collect the souls. These souls are going to be useful for our first couple of levels, and our goal is to get the Uchigatana, which is why I said the samurai class will be a lot faster for this. We need a weapon that applies bleed, and the Uchigatana, in my opinion, is probably one of the easiest ones to come across. It doesn't require anything special, and its stats are very low. So for any of the other classes, we're aiming for pretty basic stats, which I believe is 11 strength and 15 dexterity. So that's why I'm saying these early levels are going to be kind of important for us, because they allow us to go ahead and grab those stats for ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and rest at our next bonfire here. Unfortunately, this guy did aggro onto me, so I am going to kill him real quick before I rest at this bonfire. If an enemy hits you as you're resting, they will reset, but you'll get up from the bonfire as soon as it reloads. It does this awkward, like, registers the hit after you sit. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and kill him off now and reset everything. And with this, we will have the NPC talk to us. I apologize for the Discord notification. We're going to go ahead and talk to her a little bit. And I apologize for it. She's going to give you this ring. This ring is what's going to be for our horse, so we can run around, and this is important for us. So this is the Stormgate Castle. You are going to need to go in that direction here in a minute, but we're actually going to go in the opposite direction. As you can see here, we've got our first level from the souls we've collected. We're going to go ahead and put that 1 into strength and get our strength requirement completed right off the bat, which means the next 5 levels will go straight into dexterity. If you're playing this class, I recommend that, you know, try to get those 2 requirements done immediately. Without it, the rest of this will take a lot longer. The bleed is a huge part of this video. Bleed damage is a percentage of HP, and I'm sure, as some of you know, there's a large dragon that we're gonna go kill, so we need that bleed damage proc to make it a bit faster. With that, horseback's actually a lot easier to deal with these guys, but I kept getting hit, so I decided to hop off my horse, because I was like, you know what, screw this. Normally if you just circle around them and left click them, it's very easy to farm them. They're not too bad, and the only reason we're doing this is because these carts right here, where you can see that message right there, there's one on each side, one here and one behind me. And they both have weapons in them. One has a greatsword and this one has a flail. I was going to pick up both of them, but I decided to just pick up one and farm the souls and start making my way. And on the other side of this camp, you'll see here from these little grace lights, there's another campfire. So we're going to hit this campfire. And the only reason why we're doing this is just to go ahead and grab all the campfires on the way. There's no reason not to. Yes, it does slow down the run just a tiny bit. And if you're going for maximum efficiency, yes, you could absolutely skip these. But this is more for geared towards new players. For anybody that's experienced, I assume y'all are probably know about all those farming spots and whatnot. So we're gonna follow this path. We're just gonna go for a little bit in this direction. I recommend passing the time to daytime before running across all this stuff that I'm gonna be doing. You'll see later why, but for now, at nighttime you get these night cavalry guys that spawn on bridges and stuff like that, and they are far beyond our level and our capability of handling right now. They do one shot if they hit you, so we're gonna make try to pass by them here. Right before you get to the giants with the pulling the cart that also has an item in it that you'll want to get, we're gonna skip to the left here and go right around these waypoint ruins in between all these rocks. If you see this little red cerulean flask guy here, you know you're going to the right spot. If you're looking for this spring, you can look over the edge. You're going to look for these air vents. It'll tell you all about those. You're going to drop and you're literally just going to go straight forward. If you know where we're going in a minute here, you can beeline it there. The only reason why I'm doing this, again, makes it simpler for people to follow, but you're going to make your way straight until you come across a dirt road. Once you come across this road, you're going to take a hard left and follow the road. And the reason why we're doing this is simply because we're going to be looking for the map of this area so we can find our way to the church. This will tell you about the map. That's what the maps look like. It's those little pillars. We didn't pick up the map in the first area, but you're welcome to do that if you want to pass through the camp. I have no need since I know the area and it wasn't too important. Follow this road a little further and you'll see this pillar. This pillar here has an item in front of it. That's the same looking pillar anywhere on the map. It's all gonna hold the maps if you see one. That's what it looks like on the map of an unexplored area. That one, and you can see the other one up here. With both of those, you know what to look for in an unexplored area, and when you find it, of course, it'll fill in the map for you. So we're gonna head to this little room of buildings, or this building specifically up here. It's called the Third Church of Marika. You're gonna follow the dirt road again, just kind of going past it. You're gonna look for that little tree. Those will show you where caves are, so feel free to use those at any point in time in your runs. And we're pretty much just gonna beeline it for our marker that we placed on the map, since now we know exactly where it is. And now that we've arrived at the church, we've got the benefit of a couple things. We get a sacred tier and we get our physic flask here, which is nice. So before you go fight any early game bosses, this physic flask, the only thing it'll do for you this early without getting any of the tiers is give you back HP. So it's kind of like having an additional flask in your inventory, which is nice. But with that, that's a sacred tier, and the physic, which gives us a +1 to our flasks and the physic flask, and we spawned with the golden seed, which gives us an extra one, and we'll be getting another 1 or 2 on our way out here. We're going to proceed to the back of the church and out to the left, and you're pretty much going to look for this little alcove here, and you're going to run until you find this little portal. And with this little portal, you'll examine it, it'll teleport you. It's going to take us to an area that is, again, way above our level, but it's okay. You don't have to fight anything. You're just going to get on horseback and you're pretty much going to run. I recommend after it teleports you, just go in here, open these doors, and go ahead and touch this site of grace. Aggro the bird here, and the reason why is because the bird will definitely one-shot us. He'll one-shot you at level 70 even, so it doesn't matter. But we're gonna cut back in down this dirt road. Again, the golden tree means there's a golden seed underneath it, so we're gonna grab one of those, and that'll give us our 5th flask, I believe. I'm talking crimson tiers. You can allocate the cerulean ones, but that'll give us our 5th one. We're gonna touch the site of grace at the bottom of the road right before the bridge. And that's just so we don't have to go from the top one in case we do die in this area, which I ended up dying, but that's all right. It's a good thing I touched that grace site. So you're going to go back up and around, and I just follow this pathway around here. Careful, because the enemies in here will one-shot you. We're going to drop off this cliff right before the group of 3. make our way down. We're kind of gonna hug the edge here, do all these little poison balls that are all over the ground, just to avoid taking too much unnecessary damage. So again, this is why I recommend daytime. As you can see, you're kind of limited on your bridge passing here, and as you can see, I did get one shot, which put me back a little bit of extra time, but that's why we touched that side of grace down by the bridge. So we're gonna reload it here, and we're pretty much gonna do the exact same thing until we get back to this point. So it's daytime, so no Knights of Cavalry. Hitting the other side of the bridge. We're gonna grab our grace site here. Go ahead and rest out of it to cure ourselves of the poison. She's gonna talk to us here and take us to the round table. If you haven't grabbed any other grace sites before this, she may not talk to you yet. I think you need like 4 or 5 of them before she talks to you, and will take you to the round table. So we'll go ahead and speed through that real quick. She's going to take us there. We don't really have much of an option. But once we get there, we'll just teleport back here. Now that we're at this site of grace, we're actually going to make our way down the road. Not to the bridge, but down the road. I'm pretty much just counting how many souls I need here. Kind of keeping a track in mind. We're gonna run down the cliff a bit till you get to this little rock here, and then as soon as you see it spawn, you're pretty much gonna turn around and try to get it to roll off the edge of the bridge, or the edge of this pathway. It's gonna drop about 1900 souls every time it dies. You want to make sure that it falls off and you get the souls before you teleport back, otherwise it'll just cancel it. It may kill you 1 or 2 times. That's totally fine if you're not used to this rune farm at all. But we're not going to abuse it too much. The game is definitely a lot more fun when you actually play the game to farm runes rather than this, but this is in case you want to kind of speed your way up through the game, the first couple bosses, or just kind of get your character some stats going and stop dying so easily. So we'll let this go for a minute here. Alright, we've gotten ourselves quite a few souls here. Enough for 5 levels to put into dexterity. And with that, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of our points into vigor, some health. I just did that because it's always good to have health in these kinds of games anyway. But we got our achievement required for the 11 strength and 15 dexterity of the Uchigatana. And with that, we are going to make our way to the next area. So from here, we actually need to get to the gate front again, the first bonfire that we ran to before when we got our horse. And we're going to go get our Uchigatana. Like I said, we need a weapon that applies bleed, so if you already have one, you can skip to later in this video, but if you don't, this is a good one to follow if you want the Uchigatana in the first place. We're going to go ahead and go back and grab that map. The only reason we're going to grab the map is, again, so we can mark the spot for the Uchigatana, which we'll do it in a little bit here, but we're going to pass by the gate. Honestly, I recommend staying to the left here until the giant drops and you pass by the bridge, just to not risk getting stomped on or anything dumb happening. Slide to the right here, because on the left, there's a guy that sits in the bush, and as soon as that horn blows, he'll just like stab your horse really quick. We're going to grab the golden seed underneath this gold trio as well. That gives us our next golden flask. Be careful of the storm wolves. Normally I'd say just sit at the side of grace and reset the wolves, but of course I really wanted this item, and so I got punished for it. I ended up having to fight 2 of the wolves before I was able to sit at the side of grace. I couldn't open the map to mark it, so I went to go fight the wolves, because you can't open the map when you're in combat technically, so gotta make sure you're out of combat and not aggroed on anything. So we're not too worried about damage here, since we can just rest at the bonfire. All right, perfect. Now that we have the map and everything, this is where the Uchigatana is located. You're going to be kind of looking into this area. So we're going to go ahead and put our marker there. And we're pretty much just going to follow this dirt little road to our right from the shack. Down the road and then around. And that'll pretty much take us right there. Be careful in this. This is also another good rune farm area. Once you are level 30, the giants are all about 1,000 a piece as well. So pretty good spot to farm some runes early game if that's what you need. I'm gonna pass by. Pretty much making a beeline straight for our marker. You're gonna see this cliff up here. I decided to go up. And the only reason I decided to go up is because I wanted to make sure I didn't pass by the catacombs themselves. So I wanted to drop down on top of them. So taking the high ground, we're going to go run all the way to the edge of this cliff, and then we're going to drop down twice onto the catacombs. So the drop's not too far. The fall damage in this game is very forgiving, so we are definitely taking use of that. And you'll drop, and what you're looking for is this little ghost guy in front of it. That's how you know you're definitely here in the right spot. And if you absolutely can't find it, or you know, whatever reason you have struggled to follow this video, and that's totally fine. I didn't, you know, wasn't like the clearest of paths, but you can always use the interactive map that they have on the wiki, which will show you all the items in the game and where everything is. So feel free to make use of that. We're gonna go ahead and just pretty much sprint straight through this cave. So you're gonna go down the stairs. You're gonna drop off this little ledge here. We're gonna turn around and go through this little doorway. As soon as we go through this doorway, we're gonna make a hard left as well. We're gonna run to the top here. We're gonna grab this item. That is our Uchigatana. I personally, because I enjoy doing the bosses and stuff like that, I'm gonna go run and pull the lever as well, which opens the boss doors to those big iron doors that were closed at the start. So we gotta run back past all the enemies here. Try not to take any damage if we can. We're pretty much just gonna sprint straight back to the site of grace to reset everything. Make sure you pick up those little plants, by the way. Those little white tipped plants. They're ghost glow warts, which allow you to upgrade your summons. So if you are speedrunning this, trying to get to level 30 early, you can at least pick those up so you can upgrade your summons as well. So we're going to touch the site of grace here and reset the enemies so they're not chasing us. So this is where we get the majority of our souls. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how are you going to get to level 30 in the next 30 minutes? For those of you who aren't aware of it, there is a giant dragon in the Celiad area. So we're going to go ahead and fast travel to the third church of Marika. This will be the fastest way for us to get here. But there's a large dragon that is in Celiad, and with it, we're going to kill it with our bleed weapon, which is why we needed the bleed, because it has a ton of HP, and there is absolutely no way we would be able to kill it with our club. It would take us it probably would take us an extra 30 minutes to kill it with the club. So we're going to exit the back of the church again. We're going to take a left. You're pretty much going to try to get on top of this little cliffside here. It's got a little ramp at the bottom here. And we're going to take those little springs all the way up to the top of the mountain. There's, I think 3 of them. And you guys can grab those as well. They're probably there for the sword arts that we need for our weapons later. But we're going to skip those for now. We're going to jump up on this little rock, past the wolves, take our second spring up. And immediately take our third one up, as a matter of fact. And with that, we're at the top of the mountain, and we avoided the giant that's to our right. But you can get up on the right side over there as a little switchback, but you'll have to get past the giant. So we're going to run past this church. This church also has another sacred tier in it and a campfire, but it is an invasion site for NPCs. And with our level, we're definitely too low of a level to really fight her unless you're confident in yourself. But I assume if you're that confident, you're probably not watching this video for any reason. So we're going to go ahead and pass by that. And instead, we're going to run and jump over this wall and grab the campsite that is on the other side of it. It is closer towards where we're trying to go anyway, so it's not a big deal. Just keep in mind that church back there, if you really want it, does have a sacred tier, which is useful for healing on your flasks. Go ahead and ignite this one. We're going to run past. Again, you can totally skip all of these if you want to make it even faster, but I am grabbing them so anybody that's relatively new or, you know, maybe not the best player of these soul-like type games, at least you're aware that you can grab these and have a little safety net to fall back onto in case you keep dying. We're gonna stay on this cliff to drop off kind of towards this edge over here, mostly to skip these dogs that are back there just because they're really annoying to deal with. On the left side of this little brick wall here, right before these ruins, is another grace site. So not too far. We're gonna grab this one. We're gonna keep going, and you're gonna head towards that big golden herb tree over here. And we're gonna jump this little cliff chasm over here. And there's gonna be another grace site right on the other side of that one. And that will be our second to last grace site that we need. We are almost there. Gonna jump over right about here. This is a little jump over point. If you jump twice with whatever your jump button is, your horse can double jump. If you didn't read that earlier when you got the horse or didn't know. Get a little Peter Pan jump over here. We're gonna go ahead and grab this grace site. And we're pretty much gonna follow this road for a good bit here. This road will take us to where the map is. And the map's kind of what you want of this area. But you're basically going to head towards that giant skull in that fort over there. That fort, more specifically, is what you want to get to. We're going to go ahead and grab the map. You're going to notice when you get here, there's going to be a lot of dragons. Don't worry about it. Just sprint past them. You'll be all right. That's why we grabbed the grace sites over here, close by. The dragons don't aggro that far, actually. And I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together as to why. In a little while here, but we're gonna kind of follow this road. We're gonna take the upper path again. We're heading straight for that big fort that you can see. Gonna sprint past these guys, give myself a little bit of room just in case they do anything crazy. You cannot go, from what I've experienced, you cannot go over his wing there on the right side, so we actually got to cut left in between him and these two small dragons. And we're gonna make our way to the back side of him, so don't start attacking him yet. We want to get to the backside to grab the grace site. We want to reset the aggro of all the dragons as well before we start, just to make sure we have safety. Again, they don't roam very far from where they are, so don't worry about it too much. Grab the grace site. This grace site and this fort behind us is actually relatively high level. It holds one of the secret medallions in it that you need later in the game. So feel free to try and grab that if you want. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out later. It's part of the game. We're going to make our way down to this large dragon here. We're actually going to make our way down to his foot over here. I found that this is relatively a very safe spot to do this in. And we're pretty much just going to hack away at him, proccing the bleed procs as often as we can. So just swing until you have no stamina, let it reload, and swing again. The bleed procs in this case will do about 13,000 damage to him, which sounds like a lot of damage, but I promise you it's not to him. So with that, we're gonna skip, go ahead and fast forward through this. Alright, and with that, we have killed the dragon, and that will give us, I actually believe it's been patched. It used to be 75,000, but I believe, yeah, 50,000 souls now. If you wait at all and go and find yourselves a gold pickled foot, you can actually use the gold pickled foot to boost the souls given. You're going to want to use it right before you actually kill it. It only lasts for about 3 minutes, so don't use it before when you start killing the dragon. So use it right before you kill it. You can use that. It'll give you a lot more souls, which will give you more levels, but without it, you'll get 50,000. And with that, we go ahead and finish up our level 30 here. We'll go ahead and proc our stats. I wanted to get a lot of dexterity out of this since we're using a katana class. We'll go ahead and leave ourselves at about 20 here for health. That'll put us at 652, which is far above where we started. And with that, we are level 33, and 30 minutes is about how long this took me. If I skip the grace sites and don't die, probably a little less than 30 minutes. But with that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And right here at the end, I'm going to show you guys on the map where we are, just for reference here. So we're at this Fort Faroth here. It's kind of close to the tree. So Fort Faroth here, that's where the dragon is. And that's kind of the path we took to get here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video.